And foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Kodash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect. And yeah, this is gonna be a quick video, straight to the point. I saw this morning when I woke up, and as you can see, this is from CBS News or CBS New York. It says 2 arrested in NYC in connection to threats against the J community, which I'm gonna play the video so you can hear it. But the point is that we gotta keep our eyes open and watch, okay? Because what it's looking like is, I mean, we know how these how they move behind the scenes, okay, and starting up a narrative and pushing, having different events take place that can basically be that fire, that sparks this new movement or this new trend in some new topic, right? So now the new thing is threats to the Jays, okay, and as they'll mention in this news article, and that is the angle, all right, to solidify, or push for new legislations against speaking in anything that they deem to be against them, all right, anything that they deem to be hate or anything that they deem to be a threat, okay, even speaking something that they can consider a threat against them, they're gonna push for those laws, all right, against that. Which, in essence, when you look at it from a different standpoint, it's to try and combat this truth, because a part of this gospel is, or a part of what's written in the scriptures, is that the Lord said specifically that He will have war with Amalek from generation to generation. Okay, so now if you based on the direction that they're going with this, if you at some point read this and explain what it actually means, they just might very well say, oh, look, you're threatening, or you're making claims that the Most High is this, that, and the third, and then they'll refute it, and then they'll say, no, it's just you making it up, and then all these different things. But in any case, let's go ahead and play this.
Tonight, 2 men are in custody. Police tell us they were armed and could have carried out an attack on synagogues in the city if officers didn't catch up with them first. We have team coverage of that foiled plot. Jennifer Bissray.
Now, I'll say this too real quick, which is that it's interesting that all of a sudden, after the whole Kyrie and Kanye situation, um now there's all this coverage, all this everybody's out here trying to go after so-called Jays. You know what I mean? Like, all of a sudden, no, there was a threat over here in Jersey. There's a threat here in New York. There's a so these people just rant, these events just did never really occurred like that up until now. You know, and it's the same thing. Like, just like a year or so ago, they were having this the new coverage was on Asian hate crimes and whatnot. Which all of a sudden people were just targeting Asians out of nowhere. There was just like a spree of Asian hate and attack. Then it jumped onto subway attacks. Now it could be either these things have been going on and they just weren't covered as much, but now that they want it to be a narrative, they covered it. They're putting it in the news more often, so it looks like it's happening more. All right. Or it could be that now that they start talking about it randomly or quote unquote coincidentally, all these events just start taking place. If you look at the timing, it's very, very interesting. But anyway, let's play this.
Ram spoke with the family of one of the suspects, but we begin tonight with Jenna DeAngelis. She's live outside court in Lower Manhattan with more on how investigators track the 2 men down. Jenna.
Well, Jessica, Jewish leaders we spoke to tonight are praising law enforcement for swift action, preventing what could have been a tragedy. Meanwhile, those 2 men are waiting to face a judge tonight. A Brooklyn council member tweeted this alert that went out to law enforcement Friday in the search for Christopher Brown, accused of making threats to synagogues in New York. He and 22-year-old Matthew Maurer were spotted in Penn Station Friday night by 2 MTA police officers armed, and sources say Brown had a swastika armband. We're told he also has a history of mental illness.
This could have been a Pittsburgh Tree of Life situation. This could have been a Buffalo Tops supermarket type of situation, and thankfully it was averted.
Mitch Silber is Executive Director of Community Service Initiative. It's a program put in place by the UJA Federation and Jewish Community Relations Council New York in the wake of attacks to better protect the Jewish community. A team of experts scour the internet for threats.
Yesterday morning, they detected an individual on Twitter who was talking about carrying out violent attacks against a Jewish synagogue, non-specific, in New York. We also got the threat from a few other organizations as well.
He says the FBI and NYPD were immediately alerted, hours later leading to those arrests.
Everybody, I'm sure, that knows the story is grateful to NYPD for their incredible vigilance and their great work. That this happened is unfortunately not a big surprise.
Roz Rothstein, co-founder of Stand With Us, an education organization that fights anti-Semitism, says it's on the rise. This comes after threats made to New Jersey synagogues earlier this month.
ADL does an audit of anti-Semitic incidents, and that audit shows that anti-Semitic incidents have quadrupled in this country since 2013, and nowhere are the number of anti-Semitic incidents as high as in New York State.
It's a community on high alert, but tonight protected by the collective efforts of those who fight hate and those who tackle crime.
The system worked, the shield worked, and communities should take heart.
Brown is being charged with making a terroristic threat, aggravated harassment, and criminal possession of a weapon. Maurer is being charged with criminal possession of a weapon. We're told neither have an arrest history here in New York City. We're live in Lower Manhattan tonight. Jenna DeAngelis, CBS 2 News.
All right, Jenna, thank you.
There you go.
Can be challenging.
So pretty much, you heard the clip right there, and it's nothing new. All right, we already know what the narrative is here, but the point is that eventually they're gonna make it to the point where you can't even teach the scriptures, all right, without them trying to put some legal infringement in place to say that, oh, you're doing this or you're doing that. But if you notice, they said they have a team of experts scouring the internet for threats, and he was charged with terroristic threats and all this, that, and the third. Okay, now they already have Hebrew Israelites in their playbook, okay, and listed as terrorists along with different other groups and all of that. But what you have to see and notice and realize is there's a goal behind all of this. At the center of it all is not just about as they say, anti-Sem and people targeting yada yada. The goal at the end of it all is to link it, all right, back to this truth and find a way, all right, that they don't have to come directly from the beginning, but eventually they could end up at a position where they can say, hey, look, these guys over here on the street corners, they got to stop. We can't allow them to keep doing this because in some way, shape, or form, it is a danger, all right, to us. Which the real danger to them is the fact that the truth, all right, of nationalities and the truth of who the real Israelites are is coming out. But obviously, they don't have a case with that. You see, that's not something you can move in and try to create a new laws on or try to arrest people for that. And so they have to remember Esau's a carnal man. So they have to use in roundabout ways, all right, they have to try and find a way to criminalize or tie in something like that to what we're doing so that they can in their mind be justified, all right, in trying to stop this word. But guess what? By the time it gets to the point where we're not able to speak this word anymore, that's going to be okay, because according to prophecy, that time is going to come. But that time is only going to come after those who have to hear this truth have heard it. All right, Matthew 24, and I believe the 14th verse, it says that this gospel shall be preached in all the world, and then shall the end come. So we know that we're definitely, all right, at that point, nearing the end. But to keep in mind, as all these things are going, the Lord did tell us, all right, here in Matthew 10 and 16, it says, "Behold, I send you forth as sheep in the midst of wolves. Be ye therefore wise as serpents and harmless as doves." Now, if you're a sheep in the midst of wolves, you're not there to get attention on yourself in the sense of, or forgetting that you are a sheep in the midst of wolves. And if it comes down to it, those wolves could tear you up because this is the position that you are in. So the Lord said that, look, keeping in mind, metaphorically, right? You are sheep in the midst of wolves, meaning that they have the upper hand. So keeping that in mind in order to even the playing field and give you that chance. The advice is to be wise as serpents and harmless as doves. A serpent knows that it can be killed by a human, and yet serpents are able to kill humans. All right, they're able to survive, and why is that? Because they know when to strike and when not to strike, and they know how to blend in with their environment. So they understand their defense mechanisms. That serpent knows that he ain't gonna go toe to toe. He ain't gonna stand up, grow arms and legs, and get into a boxing match with a human being. So what is he gonna do? He's gonna use whatever traits or skills that he can use in order to either avoid, evade, hide, or attack when threatened. You see? It says, and what? And harmless as doves. So our power is in wisdom. And wisdom in how you move. Okay? Wisdom in what you say and how you say it. Because in everything that you got to be mindful that, yeah, we're speaking the truth. But the truth, all right, as we know, is stirring up all this controversy. Now, you can speak the truth in a way where what you're doing is speaking the truth and you're not adding extra things here and there. Sometimes we get carried away here and there, but you got to be mindful. All right, as the scriptures say, be ye wise as serpents and harmless as doves. The scriptures in Ezekiel says, eat the whole roll and go and teach the nation of Israel. Go and speak it unto them. And as I remember Apostle Gabar always says that, just teach the scriptures. Read the scriptures and let thy words be few. There's a scripture that says that, right? Comprehending much in few words, meaning let the scripture speak. When you bring it out, make sure break down the actual verse. Let it tie into your point, back it up here and there. All right, so that when it comes down to it, we may be justified because our words are directly from the scriptures. But I mean, all in all, with that being said, regardless of how well you do that, the time is gonna come when they're gonna demonize this in any way, shape, or form, and we gotta be alert and upon our watch. So now moving on, this is the book of Revelation, all right, because at the end of the day, what they're doing is with, like, for example, with the whole Kyrie situation, they're accusing us because in the Rolling Stones article, they came directly for us. All right. Now this is Revelation 12 and 10. It says, "And I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, now is come salvation and strength and the kingdom of our power and the power of his anointed." Now, so this is in the, after we get the victory. Okay, after this place is taken out. But notice what it says here. It says, "For the accuser of our brethren is cast down, which accused them before our power day and night." Okay, so dealing with the accuser of our brethren now, after it's all said and done, yeah, they're going to take that L. But the point here is that they're referred to as the accuser of our brethren. And that's what they're doing. That's what they've been doing. And that's what they're getting ready to do. So watch the narrative. The scripture say in 2 Corinthians, I believe it's 2 and 11, "Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices." See, so there's certain things that they want you to do and they want to bait you to do, but we're not carnal Israelites. The weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but spiritual. And realizing that you have more power in being spiritual than carnal is that's powerful. All right, that's really the goal. This is Psalm 64 and 4. It says that they may shoot in secret at the perfect. And who are the perfects? The Israelites, starting with the elect, because that's what this truth does. It makes you perfect, and we're in the process of being made perfect. All right, but it starts in the mind. It says, "Suddenly do they shoot at him and fear not. They encourage themselves in an evil matter, or in an evil matter. They commune of laying snares." A snare is a trap. So put it like this, right? if you know that maybe you want to catch a deer, and you see the path that the deer comes through every day. Now, in order to catch, if you pop up on a deer, it's gonna outrun you. So in order to catch it, what do? You examine the path that the deer always comes through, and then you lay traps. You set a snare in that path because you know that the deer is gonna come back through there, and so when it does, in this time there's a trap ready. So the deer is not gonna do anything, right? The deer is not gonna do anything different, but it's still gonna fall into your trap because you laid it in a way where all the deer got to do is what it regularly does, and yet boom, it still gets caught in your trap. And that's what they're doing, or that's what they're trying to do. All right, they know that obviously we're not criminals. We're not gonna go out there and do some wild crazy shit. So what are they gonna do? They're gonna demonize what we regularly do, so that now they can make you a criminal for just doing what you normally do, which is what they did to Daniel. When you read in the book of Daniel, they deliberately came up with a law that said that you couldn't pray to any other gods, because they knew that Daniel was an upright man. So in order to catch him, they had to say, all right, you know what? He ain't gonna go and commit any crimes that we can get him on. So we need to make laws against what he normally does, so that now we can say, look, he's doing this, that, and the third. So that's what they do. That's why they have these councils. This truth is a powerful thing. It's like kryptonite to them, and we know it, and they know it, but the average individual doesn't. See, the average individual walks around thinking this is about hate. You guys are just angry and you hate, and that's why you do it, bro. That's such a low level understanding, or not even, that's not even understanding. That's just a low level perception of things. Because when you truly understand, those that truly understand and know what's going on, you know it goes far beyond just hate. All right, there's a spiritual warfare at hand, and the what's the word I'm looking for? Basically, what's on the line here is very big, and we understand that, and they understand it, but the average people don't. So to them, it's just, oh, you guys just hate. The truth is more than just hate. And the part that really gets them is not the hate. That's not what they're worried about. The part that gets them is the truth. But they describe or paint the truth as hate because they can demonize hate, but they can't demonize truth. So if they can wrap truth under the banner of hate, then they can demonize truth. It's as they say, who shall see them? Yeah, because they paint themselves as, harmless, noble. But wait, when you really dig down in the history of the things they've done and the things they do and the things they believe in, you'll find out, whoa, you guys are doing some pretty disturbingly weird things, man. But they paint themselves in a light where, you wouldn't suspect them of these things. And then they do it so to the point that anybody that does say, hey, look at what they're doing here. Oh no, you're a demon. You just hate. All right, you just hate, but everybody hates. There's not one person on the planet Earth that doesn't hate. And if they tell you that they don't, that's a lie. Hate is not just towards somebody. You can hate something. You can't love everything. It's just like saying that, like the scriptures say, you can't serve two masters. You cannot love everything. There's going to be something that you don't like. All right, something that you hate. Because that's a built-in part of us. All right, there's a balance to it. There are things you love, there's things you hate, there are things you like, there's things you don't like. And anyway, that's pretty much it. I'll leave the link to this video in the description box. But yeah, man, this is where we at. So as the Lord said, watch as well as pray. So with that, Lord willing, this is edifying to the elect. In closing, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Ruach HaKodesh. Until next time, Shalom.